Kahumanu clan. Who's your younger sister? And the brother is? Okay. Remember, our Hawaiian historians have said that Hawaiian genealogies are Hawaiian history, and that you cannot know Hawaiian history before the coming of Cook unless you know genealogy. So this course is designed to let the students become familiar with the major lineages, and when they're finished with this course, they should know major lineages for the 4 major islands, that is Kauai, Oahu, Maui, and Hawaii Island. And so that when they hear a name like Mānoa Kalanipo, then they'll say, ah, right, that's a Kauai lineage, we know him, we know who his parents were, we know who his descendants are, and we will revive the art of genealogy once again. Genealogy for Hawaiians is still a very live topic today. We're all interested in genealogy. Everybody else thinks we're crazy, except for other Polynesians. They love it. But for us, it's one of the greatest sciences of Hawaiian history. Well, basically, before missionaries came to Hawaii and put Hawaiian language into writing, things were passed down. Knowledge was passed down orally, so that's why it's called an oral tradition, and this is true throughout the Pacific and throughout Polynesia, through many other parts of the world as well. And people were skilled in memorizing. They memorize much more than we do today. It might be in the form of a chant, as maybe genealogies were. There are genealogical chants. It might be in the form of various epics that were handed down. Say, for instance, the Kawelo story, it just comes to mind immediately, or the story of Halemano. Those epics would be passed from one generation to another. The story of Pele and Hi'iaka and all the attendant chants that went with it would be passed down. Histories of various chiefs. They were actually historians. The Kaka'aulelo were people in the court who would be called upon whenever there was a problem. They would say, call for the Kaka'aulelo, ask the Kaka'aulelo what are the pertinent mo'olelo or histories that go with this problem, and he would recite these things. So knowledge was given to one person in particular who would be trained, or to a few students in particular who would be trained because of their very quick minds and good memorization, but also knowledge would be discussed in the court. It would be discussed throughout the society at large. Hula, the tradition of hula, is a great way of passing on knowledge, because as the chants are being performed, people would be discussing the stories behind the chants. Many times in the evenings when there's no television, people would sit around and talk about the great feats of Maui or the great exploits of Kamehameha or Umi. And I think they were much more educated than we are today. They knew their history. We can't even talk about our history. Most people who are raised in the American tradition have a very shallow idea of what history is. They think it's 200 years to the beginning of their country, and that's about it. That's it.